A few weeks later, Mook walked into the salon. She looked a bit thinner, but her eyes were gentle. Beneath her shawl, she carried her baby in a car seat. She asked me to trim her hair because she, too, wanted to start over. My hands trembled, and I had to take a deep breath. "Mook, I'm sorry." She gave a faint smile.
I used to hate you, but after having my baby, I didn't want him to grow up in a home filled with vengeance. So I chose to forgive. Gave a faint smile. Forgiveness doesn't mean I've forgotten. It means I've chosen not to let the pain keep destroying my life.
Her words lit up the whole salon like a switch being turned on. I nodded, tears falling silently as my scissors trimmed her hair strand by strand, as if cutting away the threads of old karma one by one. Before leaving, Mook placed more money on the counter than the price. I hurried to refuse it, but she just laughed softly.
It's not a tip. It's payment for the lesson you taught me. Someday, when you open your own salon, use this money to buy a new pair of scissors.
The words, "a new pair of scissors," warmed my heart until it burned. I bowed my head lower than I ever had before. Months passed, and I never reached out to Ek again, but news of him found its way to me. The company had laid off a large number of employees, and he was among them. The business he tried to start with friends stumbled into debt. He began drinking, his face growing weary and worn. I heard it from a client who was a friend of Ek's ex-friend's girlfriend. The web of gossip in this city tangled like creeping vines. One rainy evening, Ek stood outside my salon, dark circles deep under his eyes.
"Can we go have dinner?"
he asked. I looked at him like he was a stranger, yet the memories of our bubble days lingered. I took him to a small roadside curry shop. He set his spoon down and spoke slowly.
"I've ruined everything, Asen. Mook's not coming back. She's allowed me to see our child, but I still don't have the courage to go."
I listened in silence before answering. She doesn't want anyone to come back. She's chosen to move forward with her child. You should do the same. Without me. Ek lowered his head.
"I still remember your laughter. Every sound of it."
I remember too, I said with a faint smile. But we were laughing in a place that never belonged to us. Before leaving the table, I placed money down in his stead, the same amount as the bouquet of roses he once sent me on my birthday. "The debt between us is cleared now, Ek. Go and be a good father to your child." Ek lifted his head, eyes glistening with tears.
"Thank you."
I shook my head gently. Thank yourself instead for having the courage to go back and do what's right. We parted ways in the rain, like two shadows that once overlapped, but in the end, had to walk separate paths. My life returned to simplicity, waking up early to open a small beauty salon I rented from Kate in the corner of her shop. I placed my mother's photo above the mirror and pinned 2 notes beside it. The first one read, "What belongs to someone belongs to them." The other note read, "If you want something, work for it. If you want love, be faithful." Every morning before opening, I boiled water and brewed fragrant tea to share with customers and children passing by the shop. On Buddhist holy days, I quietly walked to the temple at the end of the alley, lighting 3 small incense sticks, not to pray for anything new, but to pray that I would no longer desire what was never mine to begin with. One night, I dreamed of the hungry ghost again. This time it sat hugging its knees beneath a Bodhi tree, its face smaller, its body no longer towering as before. It looked at me weakly. "Are you hungry?" I asked. It shook its head.
When the heart no longer desires, the hunger fades too.
I woke with a start, strangely calm, in a way my heart had never felt before. On the 1-year anniversary of my little salon, I opened the box containing the money Mook had once left me, her payment for the lesson. I went and bought a new pair of scissors, the brand every hairstylist dreams of owning at least once in their lifetime. Back at the salon, I placed the scissors on the table and took a deep breath as if laying down a promise to myself. That afternoon, the door to my salon opened. Mook came in pushing a stroller. Her round-eyed little boy giggled happily as she handed me a piece of bread.
I brought this to celebrate your salon's 1-year anniversary.
I kept thanking her with folded hands as she sat down for a trim. We chatted about the price of baby formula, the rain, and the rising electricity bills. She said her online freelance work was enough to get by. She didn't mention Ek, and I didn't ask. We both understood, without needing words. Before leaving, she glanced at the new scissors in my hand.
They look sharp. Do they work well?
She said. I smiled. Perfectly. It cuts only hair now, not pieces of my heart anymore. Mook laughed softly, reached over, and gently squeezed my hand.
Thank you for making the right choice.
I nodded. Thank you for letting me learn my lesson like an adult. This city is filled with neon lights, the hum of air conditioners, and rumors that travel faster than the wind. Everyone hungers for something inside. Some crave fame, some crave acceptance, and some crave love. I once hungered too, so much that I became a shadow in someone else's home. But I've learned that some kinds of hunger aren't meant to be fed, they're meant to be stilled. Only when we stop craving do we finally feel full. I'm not a good person. I just don't want to be a hungry ghost anymore. In the salon's mirror, I saw a woman smiling softly at the customer in her chair. She lifted her new scissors, their blades glinting gently in the midday light, sharp, yet harmless. With each careful snip, she tried to make the hair as beautiful as her hands allowed, just as she was trying to cut away her own desires, one strand at a time. If you ever find yourself standing before the needle's eye of desire, don't force the wrong thread through it. For even if fate lets you slip it in, one day you'll look at the fabric woven from your mistakes and ask yourself, just as I once did, are you full yet? The answer that brings true liberation isn't, I'm full now. It's, I will no longer hunger for what was never mine.